Manifestation. What is it? What does it even mean? How does it apply to your life? And can you do it? Well, my guest today is going to teach you how to manifest your dream life. What is holding you back? We're going to talk about all that and more on today's episode. I'm your host, Medrano, and welcome to Woo Woo. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Woo Woo. Today's guest is Michelle J. Lamont, speaker, coach, author, expert in manifestation. Hey, Michelle, how you doing?
Hey.
Oh my gosh, I'm smiling from ear to ear since we jumped on this. Like, we met so long ago in Dallas. I don't even know what year. We were doing a project for, was it like ABC or some local affiliate, and you were the public relations guru, right? Do you still do PR, or how does that work? What's going on with you? Catch us up.
No, honey. No, baby. I am the queen of manifesting everything good into your life. How can I lend all of this great genius energy to a press release when that's like not even on a planet I understand anymore? You know, I still get calls though. It's been like 6 years. And even last week I got a call for a new reality show and it was a pretty good budget. And my mind was like, I was like, no, I'll manifest it. Sorry,
It'll
no,
come
thank
from
you.
somewhere else.
First of all, since my spiritual awakening, the one thing that I had to really digest and understand is that everything that anybody asks you to do is selfish.
Yeah.
Because it comes from, it's if it's their own self view and it's your self view, if anyone asks you to do something, it's selfish. And when you do something for yourself, you're filling yourself up. So you're being self-full. And I am not my own publicist. I do have a publicist that does my pitching for me. But obviously, having almost 8 years on camera before I was an actual publicist, when I go to do a segment or a TV show or an interview, I'm top of my game immediately because I have so many years on camera and behind the camera.
That's really cool.
That's easy.
I have to ask, because when I last saw you, you were very business. Not to say that you're not now, but the business energy around a person, like their aura, is very serious and it like micro focused, hyper focused. Sorry, is the word I mean to say. And when I met you, you seemed fun loving, but you seemed very serious. And now when I'm seeing this incarnation of you, you're so bubbly and fun and exuberant and positive. What happened? Like, what can you wait first? Hold on. I'm sorry. Yeah. I set you up with that question, but I do want to remind everybody that Michelle has a podcast of her own. So if you really want to deep dive into all that's Michelle, she has over 200 episodes. Oh my God. Congratulations. Like, so sorry to interrupt. I just had to plug that in there.
235,000 listens. Yeah. I'm going to hit 500,000 this year.
You are done.
Yeah.
So
we did the math. I was
so what happened between then and now?
So in 2016, I finally filed for divorce from a very toxic and abusive marriage. I attempted suicide. Yeah. And from that near-death experience, I was saved. And after that, and that's episode 2. So I don't want to go into all of that, but they can go into listening to Manifesting Miracles. After I tried to unalive myself, I had to decide. First, I was pretty pissed off that I was alive because I had done a lot of planning to not fail. I've never failed at anything. So I couldn't understand that I failed. And through that time, the first couple of days, I just kept thinking, well, I should have gotten a gun. And so for the first about 24 to 48 hours, I didn't believe in God. I looked up at the ceiling and I just said, "You're not real. This isn't real. Um, why did you save me just to torture me? You're a
Yeah.
demon, not a God." And I just kept thinking and kept looking up ways to do it with a gun. Well, I'm laying in bed, and all of a sudden, because I had hired my dog walker for 90 days, just like a normal media junket when I would be on tour, and she was coming every day and walking the dogs and kind of cleaning my house because the first time in 5 years she'd ever seen it dirty, and
Yeah.
that's a sign of depression. And I wasn't depressed. I was out of alignment. My whole life was out of alignment. Like you said, I was very serious because everything in my personal life was revolved around paying for 15 employees' salary, including my husband, making sure that everybody who was writing me $15,000 and $20,000 a month checks, all of the things that they wanted were getting done. And I just couldn't see a way out of just making people famous and making people wealthy anymore. And I didn't want this. So I'm laying in bed, and my dog walker says, I've never seen you like this. You need to take a shower. You need to get out of bed. And she didn't know. I was like, no, I'm just kind of figuring out how to try to get this gun. And like, it's going to be done in a couple of days. Don't worry. Like, you won't have to see me depressed.
Wow.
And I was laying there and I see the TV. It's just on my wall. And all of a sudden it just comes on. And what comes on is YouTube. And my nieces would always watch YouTube at my house, but I wasn't a YouTuber and I didn't even really know what it was. And this man comes on TV, and all of a sudden he says, when you change the way that you look at things, the things that you look at change. And from that moment on, I was riveted. I watched 16 hours of this. I would get up, go to the bathroom, go back in bed, and watch more. And I couldn't stop watching this man. So I was like, well, you know what? Before I decide to do anything, let me go read his book. So I was literally
Can I
in.
guess?
Go ahead.
Was it Joe Dispenza?
It was not. Joe to me is a guy's guy kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
All dudes love Joe Dispenza, and his training is more on a deeper rooted meditation with using your frontal lobe and all of this. And I've studied him and I love him, but no. And so I literally am in my pajamas and I get in my car, and all I was eating at the time was pizza because I was like, well, I'm going to die anyway. Might as well just eat what I want. I don't have to be bulimic or starve myself anymore, which I stopped doing that
Oh
during the
man.
pandemic. Like, cute little chubby pandemic face now.
Same. I'm all about the
And
cheeks.
no, like it keeps me young. It keeps me
Mhm.
looking young.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm here for it. I'm here for
Same.
it. Yeah, we're like, age what?
Hmm.
Um, so I drove there in my pajamas and I literally had a piece of pizza in my mouth and I walked into Half Price Books on Preston and something right by my house. And I walk in like eating pizza in a robe and filthy pajamas, and the guy looks at me and he goes, "No homeless." And I was like, "No, sir, I have an American Express card. I'm not homeless. I'm just very dirty." I
I
was
feel
like,
that. I feel that, by the way. I will never forget one time I was doing makeup on a client, and she asked me to do a makeup purchase of everything that I used on her. So I went to Neiman's in my pajamas. I was not like looking cute at all. And I had like a pretty woman moment, where everybody's just kind of ignoring me. And they're like, this dude's at the makeup counter looking homeless. Like, we're not, nobody would give me any attention. And I'm like, hello, I'm about to spend like $1,000 in makeup and beauty
seriously.
products. Like,
Yeah.
it's going to behoove you to pay attention to me. All I'm saying. So you got to love it when they do that. But sorry, keep going.
I was literally so depressed that I agreed. I looked homeless. I go, good to know. And I just took another bite of this fucking pizza.
Check.
I was like, I said, where is Dr. Wayne Dyer's section? Do you have any books by Dr. Wayne Dyer? And he looks it up and he goes, he has 37. I said, I
Oh,
want all
wow.
of them. So they had 30 in stock. and I proceeded to read them. And by book 3, I was not going to kill myself anymore. And by book 7, I said I had to meet him. And by book 20, I knew that he and I were kindred spirits. See, he grew up in an orphanage just like me.
Mm.
And he was given away by his parents just like I was at the age of 10. And his dad became an alcoholic just like mine did. So, unfortunately, when I found him, he had died the year before.
Wow.
So that started, you have to die to be reborn. And in my situation, I was so close to dying almost all the time because I was living in a reality in which I had to balance everything. And I was so depressed from my childhood and everything that happened. So, I'm a first generation American. My mother died when I was 10. My dad, about within 90 days, kept my brothers and gave me away. I grew up in
Mm.
a group home in Waco, Texas, called the Children's Methodist Home, where they love to abuse children in every single way that you can imagine children being abused.
Wow.
No one's looking at the brown and the black kids that are in the orphanages, and nobody cares what happens to us. And my dad would lose all of his, we had 2 homes. He lost his homes, his car dealerships, and everything. Became a raging alcoholic, went on welfare, beat my brothers. I grew up in a just as terrible situation. Go to college, second year there, meet my future abuser, which is my husband, and build multiple very successful businesses, because if there's one thing that I know, it's how to turn a penny into a dollar. And I have never failed at that. But everything else was just like a mystery. So I went through the spiritual awakening. I really understand that I had to get to that level in order to lead all these people and help all these people and be the person that everybody sees me as, because I am that. I'm not portraying something. Um, and I started manifesting, and I really started understanding it. I went back to school. I within almost 3 months of trying to attempt suicide, I write a dissertation, and I get in and I do an 18-month program of mindfulness cognitive therapy where I learn about the brain. And I really thought that I had some sort of brain issue. So I went to the hospital and got my brain scanned, no tumors. So I was just a little out of alignment.
Yeah.
And from that point on, from about, I would say the end of 2017 was when my school ended. I finished off with all my PR clients, and I just said, I really did learn how to believe in God and understand God. And I said, if you're real and you really want me to serve, make this very easy for me. And I said, I want one PR client that wants nothing and one coaching client, and I need 10K a month. I got 11K in less than 10 days.
Wow.
And those were 14-month contracts. So I could just go to retreats, go coaching places, read, invest in my time, because I didn't have any resistance to money. And this is where a lot of people want my help in, is like, how do I manifest money? Of course, I don't talk about it on my podcast, very rarely, because what I teach is so powerful and is so true, and it works so really well. And I don't know if I can curse on your show, so I'm holding it
Girl,
back.
baby girl, yes.
People get themselves fucked up when it comes to money.
Yeah.
They get themselves fucked up. And see, there was a recent statistic that just came out that 96% of people who win the lottery are dead broke or worse off than when they started within 5 years. Why? They were a vibrational match to one thing. I want to win the lottery. 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 And when you're a vibrational match to one thing over and over and over again, the universe eventually is going to say, okay, you have reached the level of vibration where you can get it. Now, the universe doesn't have an opinion on what you do with what you get. It's not like, I want a dog, I want a dog, I want a dog. And the universe is like, oh, but you're going to breed it. And that's really bad. And there's already too many dogs on the planet. The universe is like, here's a dog.
Yeah.
And so they give you the money, but if you're not a vibrational match to wealth, if you're not a vibrational match to abundance, if you're not a vibrational match to that consistency, immediately when you win the lottery, you're going to lose it all. You get a $5 bill, you're going to get a $5 flat tire. You get a $10, if you manifest $100, you're going to you're going to have something that comes due for $100 almost immediately, because the universe doesn't play games.
No, and I am curious to know your opinion on this. Do you believe that people need to hit rock bottom in order to manifest or become aligned with that? You know what I mean? Like, it seems like the common thread with us and people like us and in our field is they find themselves in a really rough, out of alignment type spot. And unfortunately, playing this reality, this game, where we are in this moment in time in human history, it's all about money. It's all about inflation. It's all about, like, the materialistic needs, as I would say, kind of ride first and foremost. What are your thoughts on that?
Okay, so money, and do you need
Do you need to hit rock bottom to?
two different things. So first, if you tell the universe, I want to be happy, and that's all you say all the time, like, oh, I hate my job, I just want to be happy. I hate my husband, I just want to be happy. I hate being single, I just want to be happy. If I was in a relationship, I'd be happy. If I have this, I'd be happy. Well, the universe is going to make you happy. And what that looks like is very different on your level of resistance. So for me, all I wanted to do was to serve people and to do really well at what I was doing. Because, I've always been a winner, and except in love, because I didn't love myself. So in order for me to have the truest and the most genuine path for my life path number, like I'm a life path 9, so it's a very high level. And I've done it in every different type of numerology. You can do it from Kabbalah to Pythagorean to everything, to design, human design. I'm always the same thing,
Yeah,
like a super creator.
I'm a
Like that.
generator. I think on human design and
So
numerology. I'm a 9.
I'm a 9.
Divine 9, baby.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're the highest. No wonder we're so connected.
Yeah.
So nines are here, and we're the smallest percentage on the planet. I don't know if you know that. So
No.
nine, nine is the smallest percentage. So if my happiness is me losing every single thing in my life in order to get it, because I'm too stubborn, because I won't go any other way, then the universe is going to make my road that it becomes total devastation, and it looks like the embers, and then I'm like the phoenix coming up from the embers. I'm also a Scorpio, and Scorpios are fire to water. So if you are really truly on a path where you really want to be this version of yourself, whether it's spiritual or divine or aligned or the best realtor, whatever it is, it might mean that it has to be total devastation depending on your level of resistance. I had a very high level of resistance. So in order for me to get to the place I am now, where I have so many desires coming true every single day, and I have no idea what you're talking about with a recession. I've never even heard of this, but I don't live in that world. I
Yeah.
just don't operate in that world. I mean, I know people say that there's this and that, but I don't live there. So,
That's so
um,
cool. I
so
want to
for
send me an invite. I want to come join you.
you're there, you're here right now.
We're
So,
here.
what does recession mean? Well, it means that you're feeding into the ideology of scarcity.
Yeah.
So the more people who say that there's a recession or there's a money problem, whatever, then you're giving your powerful energy to the lowest vibration. So I say everybody wants to heal. There's a way for everybody to heal. I just sold out my third class of this year. And
Congratulations.
thank you. My classes are not inexpensive.
Yeah.
And I don't have people who work at high paying jobs that take my classes. But what happens is when they take my class, their life literally changes. I had a girl that she was just a reformed drug addict. She's working in a financial company. And she's a single mom, and she bought the deposit for this class, and I had no idea until the end, or else I wouldn't have let her do it. She had $200 in the bank, and she made a $150 deposit into my class. By the time the class ended, she manifested a $3,000 bonus. She manifested a $3,000 raise, a free all-inclusive paid vacation to Disney World for her, her daughter, and her mother. Um,
Nice.
she moved into her dream apartment and was almost like 25% more in the dream school district for her daughter, so she didn't have to take the crappy little bus anymore, all in 4 weeks. And that isn't even the biggest case study, but it just shows you that even if you have $200 in the bank, if you truly believe that through my teachings or through your teachings or whoever's teachings, you will be a different version of yourself. The universe is going to grab, right, hold on, and it's going to say, oh, we got the ride going. Let's get the ride going.
Yeah.
And so once you get in flow, any other chapter, any other way, the universe is just going to celebrate it. So I don't believe you have to hit rock bottom, but I think you have to be rock bottom emotionally, like nothing else could really hurt me anymore
Yeah.
or anything like that. Because if you believe in a way, like if you think to yourself, yeah, but you don't get it. I'm 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 this minority. I have this religious background. I have this sexual orientation. I have this minority issue. I don't have education. I wish I could be like you and Ray and be like all happy and ready to manifest, but I can't. See, that is a broken iOS system that we're operating out of because everything from the day you were born was an indoctrination into not being your authentic self.
Yeah.
And so, how do we do that? Well, let's make everybody a clone and go do the same education. And we're all going to learn exactly the same way. And we're all going to want the same things. And then we're going to use Hollywood to make you want something that is absolutely unobtainable. These 5 Lambos in your garage. It's just 3% of the population.
Yeah.
3% of the population are
Wait,
responsible.
did that percentage increase? I thought it was the 1%. It's 3%?
It's 3% of the population have 85% or 75% of the wealth in our country.
Got it. Okay.
And I know this is listened to around the world if it's a podcast, but in the United States of America, that's what it is. Now, another interesting statistic is that only 3% of Americans ever make a goal. So if you're not, so I'm a manifestation mindset coach because I know the scientific background of the brain, and I also know what spirituality is and what it does and how it works. And when you combine the two, the science with the spirituality, you become an unstoppable manifesting motherfucking machine.
Yeah.
And it's just,
Yes.
I've manifested a one-on-one with Kim Kardashian, with Oprah, with Cindy Crawford. I live in $1 million house. I literally have dolphins in my fucking backyard.
That's awesome.
I literally was out on my dock this morning because every Monday I teach my clients which day of the week to manifest. So Monday is the strongest vibration for money.
Mm-hmm.
So on Mondays, I take a picture, I send it to all my coaching clients, time to pay our bills with joy. I'm so happy that I get to pay my $300 bill. Yay! Right? So I was opening up all my emails and I was on my dock. Yes, my dock. I was on my dock this morning and I'm getting everything together. I'm like, okay, I'm going to donate to this place, whatever. And all of a sudden, this little pod of dolphins comes swimming by and I was like, clapping. I'm like, you guys do great. You did a great job. And my dogs are barking and me and the dolphins are laughing. So, but if you had looked at my life 6 years ago, here I am spending 90 days trying to kill myself, getting the duct tape because I know people throw up, getting the bag ready for over my head, and all the planning and plotting because I was at a point of no return.
Yeah.
I had to burn everything down to rebuild it because of my stubbornness. And because I've been here 8 other times, I didn't care about making money. I didn't care about finding like this great love. I didn't care. All of those things mattered not.
Yeah.
So when I was able to eliminate all of that fear and doubt and loathing, and the universe turned me on to Dr. Wayne Dyer. In fact, one of my dogs is Wayne Dyer Lamont.
Love it.
Yeah, that my life really started to move in the way that I always knew it would be. And now it's like kind of funny because now I see like why I had to be an entrepreneur and why I had to be a publicist and why I had to learn TV and learn how to have excellent elocution. Because I am a natural storyteller.
Yeah.
And so then to be able to captivate people, I mean, I've never had a guest. I have a $99 mic, and I started it in October of 2020 with 1,300 followers on Instagram and no TikTok. And my first month, 1,500, second month, 5,000, third month, 8,000. And it just went on and on from there. Why? Because I fully believed that everybody who was in the same vibration that I was needed me, and I needed them. And so there it goes. And that's how it,
That's a beautiful way to look at it too. A lot of people could look at the vanity aspect of followers and views, and but I
yeah,
think for you and for us and for your message, it's not it's that is a connection. That's somebody who finds your training, somebody who finds your words of wisdom, somebody who finds your opinion, your view set, and they're able to stop and think about it and think, maybe I am looking at it all the wrong way. Or maybe I have been focusing on this the right way, or the better way that serves me is to focus on this, and so that I just want to bring that up too. It's not just about like, views and subscribers, and it's about the message. It's about reaching people. And I feel so 100% in my heart that you are one of the most genuine people I see out here on these platforms, because you're talking truth, you're talking from the heart, and you're talking from experience. Like, you're walking, living, breathing proof that this
yeah.
works. Now, I do want to ask, right now, inflation is through the roof.
Okay.
It's all money, money, money. And it's funny that you brought money up as well, because one of your podcasts that I watched this morning on YouTube was about how you never talk money and manifesting money, because if it doesn't work the first time, people tend to veer away from it. If manifesting money didn't work for them, they're like, oh, forget it. I'm stuck. I'm never going to do it. I
Yeah.
mean, can you explain more about that? And again, everybody, if you want to go check this episode, was it 203 or 200?
I don't know, because I record four at a time, and then
Okay.
my
Yeah.
producer.
Yeah.
So I have a producer, and she's amazing, and she even like submits me for awards. I've won 4 awards. I'm like, oh,
Congrats.
thank you.
That's
Another. She's like, you're a
wonderful.
first time award winner. I'm like,
Yeah.
woohoo! So, like, first of all, money is an energy, and it's just the same kind of energy as oxygen, as water, as animals, as birds, as trees. There's more ways to get money, to have money, to create money, and to bring money into your life than in any other time in our life. And yet, everybody gets it wrong.
Yeah.
Now, there's a famous quote from J.P. Morgan, and he says, "Billionaires or millionaires don't listen to astrology. Billionaires do."
Ah. So maybe there's a little bit more to this woo-woo thing,
Well,
with the billionaires than they like to lead on.
let me put it to you another way. Why would billionaires want you to believe in astrology?
Right.
Okay. They need you as an employee. They need you scared, unawakened, depressed, low vibrational, without access to it. They want to then make it seem like you're anti God or anti religion. If you have any sort of woo woo tendencies, like go ahead
Mm-hmm.
and get the tin hats on. And
Control
now
them.
we're
Yeah, it's all about control. Keeping them
control them,
dumb and
keep
in the
them
dark.
dumb, keep them docile, keep them immobile, keep them scared. That's why 3% of the population have goals, because every time you make a goal, you fail at it and you don't want to do it. So the universe is designed for you to be scared enough to break up with your history so you could create your future.
Yeah.
And you have to let go of this persona and personality that you believed that you were because of what everything in society told you. I mean, statistically speaking, a first generation female who is homeless at the age of 10 is going to be sex trafficked, is going to become a prostitute, is
Wow.
going to become addicted to drugs. You're a street kid. You don't have anything, you don't have any value. Um, and so, statistically speaking, I should be dead or stripping at a bar, or some kind of like roadie mama, whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't believe in this ideology of what society has told us, and so I know, because I am an immigrant child, the way that I was raised up until the age of 10 was very different than my counter white people. No offense to white people, um, but immigrant parents, they expect their children to be successful and to represent their family and their name. And my mom grew up on dirt floors, and she had to wash her clothes in the river. And in one generation later, I am 7 generations different. And the reason that I say this isn't because I want people to be impressed with myself or what I've done. It's because I want you to feel inspired that no matter where you are or what you're doing right now, the universe made sure that you found this podcast, that you found us, and that you wouldn't say, I don't have all these qualifications and I don't have all these things. Who did? Who does? Albert Einstein didn't go past 7th grade.
Wow.
So there's all of these things that are set into our mind when we're young, and a lot of it has to do with the way that we perceive money. So as far as like inflation or whatever else is going on, what you have to first do is understand, how did your parents view money? Okay. So if your parents said you have to get a steady job, you have to have insurance, you have to be reliable, all of that sort of thing, well, yeah, then you're going to believe that that's the road to success, or success looks like a house with 2.4 kids and a golden retriever, a BMW and an SUV, and 3 weeks off a year for vacation.
Yeah.
Um, I haven't opened an email in 4 years. I mean, I do because I have to, but not the way that I did when I was a publicist. I had to be on call 14 hours a day. I slept 4 hours a day. I was responsible for everything all the time, everywhere.
Yeah.
And I was just miserable. And I was living with somebody who hated me, but I was so successful, he knew he couldn't be successful without me.
Yeah.
So until I hated myself so much that I accepted all of those things. So if I was to try to manifest money, my thought process in that state of being would have been, well, I need 6 clients that are 20,000. I need 4 clients that are 10. And then I can give all my $1,500 and $3,000 clients to my first year and second year account clients, employees. And so I would have thought that I had to physically create a relationship with somebody and then sign a contract that would stipulate that I would receive this money. In energy, that's literally the death of money, because the second you sign that contract and the second you sign everything, in a four square relationship, we know in energy, anytime you're in a 4 square relationship, you are signing a deal with the devil, because you are agreeing to a 3D reality where everything has to be acquired through an effort.
Yeah.
But if you grew up in a way that your parents kind of always had money and were financially more free, and they didn't really think about 9 to 5 jobs the way my parents did. My dad came from a very wealthy family, and my mom was literally dirt poor, like the word dirt. She lived on dirt,
Yeah.
poor. And she learned English on Sesame Street. So I grew up in Colombia. We came back here in 4th grade. So yo te puedo hablar español perfectamente.
Oh, nice.
so, so yeah, don't let the cute face fool you.
Yeah.
La Latina aquí.
I love it. Yo
I
también.
ain't no Jenny from the block, bitch. I'm a straight up Colombian. Like,
Right?
So when money comes in, and let's say that you're living in a reality, let's say that you're living in a reality where the thought that blueberries went up from $4.99 a container to $6.99 a container, and you love blueberries, and now you can't afford blueberries. So all day long, what are you going to be thinking about? Everything's
Can't
expensive.
afford it. Yeah. It's
Can't
out of
afford
reach. Yeah.
It's out of reach, right? Well, the universe doesn't give a fuck what you want.
Yeah.
It's not over here judging anything, despite popular opinion. So the universe is is like going, oh my gosh, she absolutely loves talking about being broke and how expensive these blueberries are. Let's make her go to the store where the blueberries are the most expensive. Oh, we're going to watch her get all worked up and excited about the $9 blueberries. And then she's going to talk about it all day long. Then she's going to go to work and they're going to give her $1 less an hour because of inflation, because that's kind of how it works, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you understand economics, which I do. And so now the universe is like, oh, look, they're so excited. They're telling everybody about how they don't have any money and how expensive everything is. We did our job so beautifully because all you care about is being broke and being pathetic and being sad and being without money.
Yeah.
Okay, now I know you're going to say that is such an unrealistic thing to say. I have 2 kids. I have a mortgage. I have this. I have that. That's fine. Anybody listening, that's fine. Here's what I'm going to challenge you to say. How do you know it doesn't work both ways?
Yeah.
If you're broke and you're always talking about it and nothing is working out for you in the way of the ching, 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 and you don't really feel like you could hire a team, right when I started my podcast, I was like, I'm hiring a team. I didn't have any money. I was like, I'm getting a producer. I'm going to get a stylist. I'm going to get a makeup artist for my first cover, all that stuff. I was like, I don't care. I already know what it takes as a publicist. I'm not going to go put L'Oreal on this face. What are you kidding? Hell no. We had to have 50 brushes for all my contouring and all my big 5-head needs.
And I got to say, though, as I was watching all of your material and content that you've been putting out, you look amazing. And I'm sitting there like, damn, I wish we lived in the same state so I could beat your face and we could just go make magic every day.
Listen, I have a beautiful makeup artist.
I love that.
And she comes to my house and we shoot probably once a month, twice a month, depending on what's going on. Anytime I'm doing TV, except when I go out of town for speeches and that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. I'm going to take her out of town. I know I am. I'm going to be able to fly her places and pay her a day rate and all that kind of stuff.
That's so cool.
But I never, when I think about money, I don't think about it. And here's the one thing that I would ask people to do. Well, there's 3 things. All right. You want to make money right now? You want to manifest money instantly?
Come on, guys. Let's try it. Who
all
said
right.
yes? I know somebody out there said yes.
I heard everybody's going ching, 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 ching.
Friends, if you're enjoying the episode so far, trust me when I say you will not want to miss part 2 when Michelle J. Lamont, Manifestation Master, leads us through a money manifestation exercise. Also, if you've already fallen in love with Michelle, please check out her website. Her link in her link tree is in my comment box. Manifesting Manifestors Masterclass coming up starting April 16th. You don't want to miss it. Be sure to reserve your spot in class now. I believe the last time I talked to her, she said it was already filling up. So be sure to check that out and check out the second episode, part 2, coming soon. Till next time, family.